Hello and welcome. You're watching HDFC Life presents Jeet ka Insurance Cricket Quiz, the national cricket quiz open to all. We have our two teams here ready to do battle. Buck up, Fast and Curious.
ODI as well.
Absolutely right. Great start, Fast and Curious. What's your strategy for today's quiz?
Just keep it simple and stupid.
We are using HDFC Life insurance card.
Very good that you played the card again because that is incorrect.
Cricket fever is on and so are we. With this, I welcome you all to HDFC Life presents Jeet ka Insurance Cricket Quiz. And for that, we have to welcome our very own quiz master, Mr. Venkesh Srinivasan. Hello sir, welcome.
Thank
How are you?
Thank you very well. Thank you.
The field is yours, sir. Enjoy.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello and welcome. You're watching the first episode of HDFC Life presents Jeet ka Insurance Cricket Quiz, the national cricket quiz open to all. The T20 World Cup is on as we speak, and to capitalize on that fever, we have this amazing cricket quiz where 1,500 teams took part in the preliminary round, and from there, the top 8 teams have qualified to take part in the Super 8 battle, which you're going to witness over 4 episodes. These will be followed by semi-finals and then the grand finale. Today, we are here with the very first episode, the very first Super 8 game, if you will, of HDFC Life presents Jeet ka Insurance Cricket Quiz Edition 1. Let's welcome the teams to today's first Super 8 contest of HDFC Life presents Jeet ka Insurance Cricket Quiz. We have two amazing teams who are going to do battle here. Our first team today call themselves Fast and Curious. Please welcome Ashwini and Sushant. All the best. All the best. Our second team today has a very interesting team name. They call themselves the Sese fan club. We'll find out about that. But meanwhile, let's welcome the team members, Gaurav and Sarbajit. All the best. With that, we're ready to start this exciting quiz, the first Super 8 game of HDFC Life presents Jeet ka Insurance Cricket Quiz. Time now to meet our teams and get to know a little bit about them. So let's meet team number 1, Fast and Curious. Please introduce yourselves.
I'm Sushant. I am currently pursuing my MBA from Delhi and I am an RCB fan, so hoping to replicate their performance at least in winning some hearts.
Hello everyone, my name is Ashwin Kumar Sharma. I'm a PhD research scholar from Guwahati, Assam. My favorite team in IPL is Rajasthan Royals.
Okay, you are an RCB fan and you are an RR fan and you are Fast and Curious. That should hold you in good stead in this quiz, though you haven't got the red t-shirts today. That's with the other team. But let's hope it works out well for you. What's your strategy for today's quiz?
Just keep it simple and stupid.
Just keep it simple and stupid. That should hopefully work well. All the best to you, Team 1, Fast and Curious. Let's meet Team 2 with this intriguing team name of the Sese fan club. Sarbajit and Gaurav, please tell all of us who is this person and why does he have a fan club?
He's this cricketer from Papua New Guinea, and we thought that, this World Cup, there's so many associate teams playing, so we thought that we should kind of acknowledge and appreciate that.
Okay, kind of pitching yourselves as the underdogs in this quiz,
Yeah,
I can
definitely.
see. The Sese fan club. Tell us about your cricket fandom and have you ever played the game at any level? What teams have you followed over the years and enjoyed watching?
I haven't played. Not in a very serious level. At best, gully cricket. And the teams that I've enjoyed watching, I don't know, maybe, the normal teams, England, Australia, India, the teams that have... But yeah, I have a soft corner for the underdogs.
For the underdogs. And I also noticed you said England, Australia and India in that order. So that's very interesting. All the best to you. Welcome. All right, we have our two teams here ready to do battle. This is the first Super 8 episode of the very first edition of HDFC Life presents Jeet ka Insurance Cricket Quiz. I think it's time now to take a look at the rules and how this quiz is going to go. There are 4 rounds in the quiz. We have 28 questions in all. 2 rounds on passing and 2 rounds on the buzzer. The scoring is a standard 100 points for every correct answer. There will of course be negatives in the buzzer round, which we'll tell you about when we get to that. On the passing rounds, we'll again tell you the rules when we get to the rounds, but play it calm, take it easy. You have 2 of you discuss and give us an answer We'll give you 30 seconds on the direct and about 10 seconds on the pass when the question passes. So going straight into round 1 of today's quiz, it's called the opening over. We're going to give you a grid which has 7 topics. The topics are fairly cryptic. You pick a topic and you get to answer a question. You get it right, you get plus 100. If you get it wrong, it passes. It's plus 100 on the pass as well. There is no negative marking, but only one guess per team. Please don't give us multiple answers. And you will get to choose 3 topics alternatingly, so there is one spare topic that's been put over there. Are you ready, both teams?
Yes.
All right, all the best. The very first question is going to come up. Here is the grid, fast and curious. What would you like? We have what next? Centurion, lawful, old is gold, extravagant, big shoes, and design thinking. Pick a topic.
Design thinking.
Design thinking. All right, team 1 has picked design thinking. Here is your question. The design for this trophy is a hollow cricket ball carved from the wood of a 300-year-old yew tree. The trophy is competed for across formats. What trophy is this the design for? Curious discussion by Fast and Curious.
So we will guess this is the Women's Ashes trophy, which is awarded to the winner of the Women's Ashes.
And what happens in the Women's Ashes which is so different from the Men's Ashes?
They don't have actual ashes.
They don't have actual ashes, okay. And I said it's competed for across formats. What does that mean?
ODI as well.
Absolutely right. Great start, Fast and Curious. 100 points to you. This is the Women's Ashes. Since 1998, the Women's Ashes has had a trophy. There are actually some ashes. Both the teams signed miniature bats which were then burnt ceremonially at Lord's. And those ashes are then inside this hollow cricket ball made from a yew tree. That's YEW. And the Women's Ashes between Australia and England, unlike the Men's Ashes, it's not just the tests. There are tests, ODIs and T20s. Good start, 100 points to Fast and Curious. Sese fan club, what would you like?
We are going for old is gold.
You're going for old is gold. All right, here is your question. Old is gold. It's a contemporary question. The T20 World Cup is going on right now as we speak. In 2024, which player bowled the most economical completed spell at a T20 World Cup with figures of 4 overs, 2 maidens, 4 runs and 2 wickets? He is the second oldest to play in a T20 World Cup as well at the age of 43.
It is Frank Subuga.
And who is Frank Subuga?
Uganda.
Of Uganda. And do you know who he bowled the spell against?
I think that was against.
You should know this of all teams.
Papua New Guinea.
It was against Papua New Guinea. Absolutely right. Frank Subuga is the right answer. Frank Subuga is the second oldest man after Ryan Campbell of Hong Kong to feature in the T20 World Cup. And he bowled the most economical completed spell when Uganda registered this amazing victory against Papua New Guinea. Excellent start by both the teams on 100 points each. Back to you, Fast and Curious.
So we will go with the lawful.
You will go with lawful. All right. Lawful. Slightly long question. Hear me out carefully and give me an answer. Before standardization in 1980, Law 17.1 of the MCC cricket laws did not specify a number, but only said that the captains had to agree on one. Over the years, this has been the reason why there have been different variants of this around the world, especially in first-class cricket. Before standardization in 1980, Law 17.1 of the MCC cricket laws did not specify a number, but merely said that the captains had to agree on one. And over the years, this has been the reason that there's been a variant in this number across matches, especially across first-class cricket around the world. What are we talking about? Or what is this number?
Okay, so we will go with the number of overs which will be played in a power play.
Okay, that's incorrect. I'll have to pass you. Sese fan club.
Okay, we'll say number of balls to be bowled in an over.
Number of balls to be bowled in an over. So what was...
I mean, Australia had generally 8
balls
balls,
over,
a lot of
6
players
balls,
6.
6
There are
balls.
instances of 5 balls as well in an over.
There have been instances of 4 balls as well in an over till it was standardized to 6. That's a cracker of an answer, Sese fan club. Fantastic answer there. This is the number of balls in an over. Unlike what we might think, it's been the standard 6-ball over only for the last half a century or so. Before that, it's varied from 4-ball overs to 5-ball overs to, of course, famously 8-ball overs in Australia, which is why a lot of confusion happens when you try to compute bowling strike rates and economy and things like that. Great answer, plus 100 on the pass to Sese Fan Club. And your own turn to pick a question.
I'll go with Centurion.
You want to go with Centurion? All right, Centurion it is. Here is your question. This player is famous for scoring 249 in a Ranji Trophy final. He also scored 100 against the visiting Australian Services team representing the East Zone in 1945. Who is this?
Dennis Compton,
And who is Dennis Compton?
the famous English legend,
English legend who not only played cricket,
also played for Arsenal.
also played for Arsenal. The men in red get it absolutely right. This is Dennis Compton, the English cricket legend. He was in India. He played for state teams in India, famously scored a final century in the Ranji Trophy. He was also an accomplished cricketer for Middlesex and, of course, represented Arsenal in football. And he's the one who has this record of centuries. Great answer, Sese Fan Club. Another 100 points to you. Your last question for this round. What would you like to pick?
We will go with extravagant.
You want to go with extravagant. Here's your question. This match was played at the St. George's Club ground. In the first innings, the host conceded 15 extras, and that was the most in the whole match because across 4 innings, no batter's score was more than that. Neither of the teams had a triple-digit score across the 4 innings. Who were the two teams playing?
It's like we will guess this. We will guess West Indies and Australia.
West Indies and Australia. And what was this match, or what was so interesting about this match?
No idea.
You're just taking a random guess. West Indies, Australia. Nice guess. We'll pass you to Sese Fan Club.
The New Zealand-England match 1955.
The 1955 New Zealand-England match. Why would we ask you about a random New Zealand-England match in 1955? Neither team gets this one right. The correct answer is this is the first ever international cricket match between USA and Canada. The St. George's Cricket Club is located at Manhattan, and this was the first ever game, and 15 extras conceded. 3 batsmen ended up making 14, but nobody crossed 15. All right, that question was a bit of a bouncer for both the teams. Last question of this round. Sese, do you want what next or big shoes?
We're going with big shoes.
Going with big shoes. All right, big shoes it is. The only such instance in tests in the last 50 years is Lee Germon against India in Bangalore, who did it in 2024 at a location called Mount Maunganui.
His first name is Neil.
Okay.
Neil
Brandt.
Neil Brandt.
And what did Neil Brandt do?
He
was
captained for the first in his debut
on his
match.
debut.
On his debut
He
match.
captained on his debut in the nick of time.
Right.
Neil Brandt is absolutely right. Just in the nick of time there. That's Neil Brandt. A very rare occasion of someone on his test debut captaining the country. Lee Germon did it for New Zealand and Neil Brandt for South Africa because 7 members of the South African team made their debut in the tour to New Zealand because all the others were playing the SAT20 League. Good answer, Sese Fan Club. Another 100 points to you. And that was a very fiery opening spell, I must say. Questions coming thick and fast, answers coming in even faster from both the teams. Quite a riveting contest. Time to now take a look at our scoreboard and see where we stand after round number 1. Here are the scores. Team number 1, Fast and Curious, are on 100 points. Team number 2, Sese Fan Club, are on 400 points. Those are the scores. Sese Fan Club taking an early lead, but there's a long way to go. Round 1 is done. Let's go into round number 2 of today's quiz. Round number 2 is called Power Play. Here are the rules of the second round. There are 8 questions on the buzzer. All questions will need a connection as the answer. So there will be either multiple images or I will call out multiple elements to the question and you need to give us a connection as the answer, plus 100 minus 100 on the buzzer. So remember, it's a negative which is equal to the amount of points. Play carefully, but we have something very interesting in this round. This quiz is brought to you by HDFC Life. The whole concept of life insurance is that you pay a small upfront cost and then you cover a big risk if an unfortunate event happens later. We're going to use the same principle in today's quiz. The unfortunate event for you guys is you getting an answer wrong. So during this round, for one question at any point of time, you can play this HDFC Life insurance card. After you've hit the buzzer, if you think you're a little unsure about the answer, raise this card up and say that you're playing the HDFC Life insurance card. If you do that, the maximum points you can get reduces from 100 to 80. So that's the small cost you're paying of 20 points. But your upside or the covering of your downside is huge because you get to lose only 20 points instead of 100 points. Remember, you can play this once during this round, either on the first buzz or on the second buzz, or when the question is passed to you, you can play it then as well if you like, but you can play it only once during the round. Let's get right into it. Both teams ready? After a riveting first round, here is the first question of power play. I need an English county as the connection. The Uxbridge Cricket Club ground, the John Walker's ground, and the Lord's Cricket ground. Okay, Sese fan club?
Middlesex.
Middlesex, that's the right answer. All these are cricket grounds which serve as the home ground of Middlesex. That's correct. Plus 100 to Sese fan club. Second question, we're going to show you two book covers. You need to tell us what is the common topic or subject of both these books. Here we go. You see Cricket Outlaws by Austin Robertson and The Cricket War by Gideon Hay. Team 2 have buzzed again.
Packer series.
Kerry Packer series.
Packer
Kerry
series.
Packer World Series.
What is the Kerry Packer World Series?
I mean, Kerry Packer had a problem with Channel 9, so he started his own league to challenge.
And that's what Cricket Outlaws and Cricket War refers to? Yes. Absolutely right. Kerry Packer's World Series, the series that transformed cricket as we know it, what was called pajama cricket, very colorful clothing, played under lights, and a rebel league of sorts, kind of changed the way cricket broadcasting and cricket economics came about. And that's the Kerry Packer World Series. That's correct. That's 100 points to Sese fan club, who are finding the middle of the bat more often than not in this quiz. But there's still some way to go, so buck up fast and curious. Here's the next question. We're going to show you 3 sports persons. You need to tell us a common specific achievement which is not cricket related. Yes?
Olympic medalist.
Olympic medalist. Can you tell us anything about any of them?
Jake McBride, he won the hockey gold. That is Johnny won't hit today. He won
JWSC
boxing.
Douglas and Sunit William.
Sunit Willowen, and she won a medal in?
Javelin, I think.
In the javelin, absolutely right. What an answer by Sese fan club, absolutely right. That's Jack McBride, as they said, who won the 1920 hockey gold at the Antwerp Olympics. Then there was, of course, JWHT Douglas on the extreme right, who was called Johnny Won't Hit Today Douglas because of his rather temperamental way that he used to box. He won a medal as well in 1908. And in the middle is Sunit Willowen, a cricketer for South Africa who won the gold medal in the javelin, the silver medal, I beg your pardon, in the javelin at the 2016 Olympics. The interesting thing about McBride is that he played one test against South Africa. The test barely lasted for 60 odd overs. He was on the field, he didn't take a catch, he didn't bowl a single ball, he didn't get to bat. So he's the only test cricketer who's never appeared on a cricket scorecard in tests. That was McBride, and that's McBride, Willowen and Douglas, Olympic medalists and cricketers. 100 points to Sese fan club. Next question, you're going to see 3 people on screen. What country connects them? Okay, Sese have gone for it again.
India.
India.
It's
born,
India. Okay,
born
why
in
is it India?
Douglas Jardine born in India. Lisa Sthalekar also born in I think in Mumbai.
And
that
there's
is
Michael Colin Cowdrey,
Michael
also
Colin
born in India.
You know more about all these guys where they were born as well?
Douglas Jardine was born in Mumbai.
Lisa Sthalekar was born in Pune. And Colin Cowdrey
Also
was born in the lovely little hill station of
Mussoorie.
Uttakamund or Ooty in the Madras province. Absolutely right. 3 international cricketers who were born in India. Lovely. Another 100 points to the Sese fan club who are running away with it. Let's see if Fast and Curious can catch up. Here is the next question. 3 images. You have to give me a specific location as your connect. Looking for a specific location, which is a cricket ground. Fast and curious. Okay, Sesebao have gone for it.
We are using HDFC Life insurance card.
You want to play the HDFC Life insurance card. Okay, you've buzzed. You're not very sure. Let's see.
The ground is Melbourne Cricket Ground.
All right.
MCG.
Why would it be the MCG?
MCG hosted the 1956 Olympic Games. Shane Warne, we all know, comes from Victoria MCG, and that other person I don't know.
Okay, you want to tell me something a little bit more about these three elements and the MCG? You know, what do you think it could be? What do you typically find in a ground?
Stand, I think.
Stands at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. That is absolutely correct, Sesebao Fan Club. Melbourne, as you know, hosted the 1956 Summer Olympics, so there's an Olympic stand. Shane Warne, the great cricketer, was a Victorian, highly regarded in Melbourne. There's a Shane Warne stand, and that is the first quadruple centurion in first-class cricket, Bill Ponsford. There's a Bill Ponsford stand. So that's 80 points to the Sesebao Fan Club because they played their HDFC Life insurance card. They weren't entirely sure of it, so they hedged their bets. They paid a small upfront cost. They get 80 points. Well done to you. Here is the next question. Three famous cricketers coming up on screen. Just give us a number that connects them. Give us a number. Okay, Sesebao have gone for it again.
It's 175.
And why would it be 175?
Herschel Gibbs scored that 175
In the 438 chase.
438 chase. Kapil Dev, we all know, Tanvi Jewel, so 175. Aiden Markram, I don't know.
Scored at 175 on debut.
Also scored a 175 in 2023 versus the Netherlands. 175 is the right answer. You will get only 100 points though, not 175 points, but it is 175. Of course, Kapil Dev's 175 not out against Zimbabwe at Tunbridge Wells in the 1983 World Cup. In everyone's memory, Herschel Gibbs, as they said, if you remember that great game of Australia versus South Africa where 434 was chased down, Herschel Gibbs made 175. And in 2023, Aiden Markram, representing South Africa, made 175 against the Netherlands. 175, 100 more points to Sesebao. It also happens to be their individual highest scores in ODI cricket. Okay, next question. We're going to show you two images. The Jamaican on the left was dismissed LBW for 27. The Englishman on the right missed a full toss and was bowled for 85. See these two images and tell us what's common. Okay, Sesebao have gone
These
for it.
are Don
Bradman's only test
wickets.
Don Bradman's only test wickets. Don Bradman, we only know as a batter.
Yeah.
You're saying Don Bradman used to bowl?
Yeah.
And who are these two people?
On the right is Wally Hammond, and on the left is this person from West Indies. I mean, he was the first Jewish to score a century, but I don't recall the name.
His name is Ivan Barrow. That is absolutely right. Ivan Barrow of West Indies and Wally Hammond, the great English cricketer, the only two test victims of Sir Don Bradman. What an answer by Sesebao Fan Club. Absolutely right. They are in great form. They're not getting out LBW or bowled in this quiz. Fantastic answering. We go into the very last question of this round, our power play round. Here is the question. Danny Wyatt of England did this after 102 ODIs and 143 T20Is. That's the record for women's cricket. The equivalent record for men is Kevin O'Brien doing it after 125 ODIs and 59 T20Is. What is this? Yes, Fast and Curious.
Playing a test match.
Playing a test match. Excellent answer, Fast and Curious. Most international matches before playing a test match. Absolutely right. Fast and Curious notching up another 100 points to the score. That's the end of the exciting power play round. 2 rounds done. Halfway point of the first Super 8s of HDFC Life presents Jeet Ka Insurance Cricket Quiz. Here are the scores. All right, interesting scoreboard here at the halfway point. With that last answer, Fast and Curious are on 200 and the Sesebao Fan Club are on 1080 points. 200 and 1080 is where the scores stand at this point of time at the halfway point of this first Super 8 game. That's the end of round 2 of this quiz, the power play round.
Oh God, they have pulled off a miracle. This is sensational.
जीत का इंश्योरेंस करने के तो कई तरीके हैं, पर लाइफ में जीत की गारंटी करने के लिए HDFC लाइफ का संपूर्ण जीवन प्लान ही काम आएगा।
round 3, and round 3 is called the middle overs. The middle overs, as you guys know, is the time to consolidate. You got to play carefully, shouldn't lose your wickets, but the time to score up those runs. We're going to give you a grid again, but this time with 7 flags. These are flags of countries. Some of them may be playing in the current T20 World Cup, some may not. You pick a flag, we'll give you a question that is in some way related to the country you've chosen. You get 100 points for a correct answer, whether on a direct or on a pass. There is, of course, no negative marking. And you will pick topics alternatingly like last time. And we will be starting this time with the Sese fan club. But before we go into that, fast and curious, we wanted to ask you, what is your favorite cricket memory? Like, which is the one match that you've seen that has always stayed with you?
The 2019 World Cup final.
The 2019 World Cup final, okay.
Final where the ball hit the Ben Stokes' helmet and it went to 4. And even interestingly, after the match was over and later, some days after, Kumar Dharmasana said that I must have not given that extra 4 to England. And that is what, in that game, I really wanted that New Zealand wins that game, because in 2015 also they defended a very low total against Australia. But then also they did not win. And 2019 again they win the final of the ICC World Cup, ODI World Cup. Then also that went against them. But the good thing I will say about that final, after the 2019 ODI World Cup final, Ben Stokes was given the best New Zealander award. And he refused to say that, and he refused the award by saying that no, this award really should go to Kane Williamson.
Nice, nice. That's a nice memory, and yeah, you were supporting New Zealand clearly during that game. What about you? Who's been your favorite cricketer across the ages that you watch cricket? Who have you really admired and liked?
I would say Virat Kohli only. And
Virat Kohli.
Cricketing memory, I would say the 2022 T20 World Cup, the MCG innings. No one was giving him chance, and India the chance, so he rose against all the odds. So that is one of my favorite things that I rewatch a lot of times, the full replay.
I know. So have a lot of us. And if you go and ask people in Melbourne, they'll actually tell you that the roar from the stadium that day was so huge that they could hear it on the Yarra River, which was running nearby. That was the impact of that game. Very good. Great to talk to you guys. Let's get right into round 3. Here is your grid with the flags. That's India, New Zealand, Ireland, UAE, Japan, Oman and Fiji. Pick a country.
India.
India. Okay, you want to go with India. Here is your India question. This player was selected in a combined side of the Central Zone and East Zone to face the touring West Indies side in 1965-66. He took 8 wickets across 2 innings and also contributed with the bat. This came a couple of seasons before he captained his side in the Ranji Trophy. Who is this legend?
Chuni Goswami.
Chuni Goswami. And will you tell us who Chuni Goswami
He was a
is?
famous footballer who played for Mohun Bagan.
Captain
also captain
India.
Bengal in the Ranji Trophy. So he was
Captain India to the 1962 Asiad.
1962 Asiad Gold at Jakarta. This question was not going to go past you, Sese fan club. Absolutely right. That is Chuni Goswami, the great footballer who captained India, like they said, to the 1962 Jakarta Asian Games gold medal, and also played cricket with some level of felicity and captained the Bengal Ranji Trophy team as well. Fantastic answer. 100 points to the Sese fan club. Fast and curious.
So we will go with UAE.
You will go with UAE. All right. The first match held at the Sharjah Cricket Stadium was a benefit match for cricketer Hanif Mohammed. The 2 teams that faced off against each other in this match were named after 2 icons, great players from opposing countries, with one of them having a very close connection with the stadium. Who led the 2 teams? This was in the early 80s. Fast, curious and furious. Come on.
We'll pass.
You'll pass. All right. Seseba.
We'll go with one is Javed Miandad.
Okay.
Another we are going with Sunil Manohar Gavaskar.
Sunil Manohar Gavaskar and Javed Miandad. And Javed Miandad's name associated with Sharjah.
Last ball
Ball
6
six.
of Chetan
The
Sharma.
last ball 6 of Chetan Sharma. And who do you think won this match?
I think it's SMG's team.
That's the part you're wrong about, but we didn't ask for that. We'll give you the points. It is the Gavaskar 11 versus the Miandad 11. These were the two teams that captained the respective sides in the first ever match at the Sharjah Cricket Stadium, which was a benefit match for Hanif Mohammed. And Miandad 11 ended up winning the match, beating the Gavaskar 11. But Miandad, of course, his name kind of etched along with the name of the Sharjah Cricket Stadium. That's a good steal by Sese fan club. You get 100 points. Sese, what would you like to pick?
We are going with New Zealand.
You're picking New Zealand. All right, here's your question on New Zealand. When his teammates were celebrating wildly after winning the 2021 T20 World Cup semi-final, Jimmy Neesham of New Zealand was sitting calmly. He later tweeted, "Job finished? ? I don't think so," with a video of one of the greatest players in another sport saying the same after a 2009 match. Whose video did Jimmy Neesham add to his tweet saying, "Job finished? I don't think so," after the semi-final win? He was tweeting the video of another great player who said the exact same words. This other great player is, of course, from a different sport.
We are going with Roger Federer.
Roger Federer. So Roger Federer, the greatest of all tennis players, you're saying said this. That is incorrect, Sese. We're going to pass you on. You want to take a guess?
Kobe Bryant.
Kobe Bryant! That's a fantastic answer, Fast and Curious. Great answer there. This is Kobe Bryant, the great basketballer. After going 2-0 up in the NBA Finals, said, "Job finished, I don't think so," as a warning to, people who get complacent halfway through a contest. So great answer there, Fast and Curious. Getting the steal right back and earning yourself 100 points on Kobe Bryant. Very good answer. Now your turn to pick.
Pick Ireland.
Pick Ireland. All right. Here's your Ireland question. In the first test between Pakistan and Ireland in 2018, Kevin O'Brien became the 4th member in a select list. This list is unlikely to expand in the immediate future. What is this list? There had been 3 batsmen before him, and he became the 4th to enter a select list. And remember, this was Pakistan versus Ireland 2018. All right, let's get in an answer.
Okay, so we'll guess that they were two brothers who were playing for Ireland.
Okay.
And that was same in the case of Pakistan, which is unlikely.
Oh, you mean so 2 sets of brothers played for either team, which had never happened till then? Very nice guess, Fast and Curious, but not correct. Sese, you have a guess?
He scored 100 in his team's first ever test match. The previous 3 instances, Charles Bannerman, Dave Houghton and Aminul Islam Bulbul.
Perfect answer, Sese. I have absolutely nothing to add. He scored a century in his country's first ever test match. It's not likely to happen again because not too many more countries are necessarily going to get test status. Ireland and Afghanistan, as you know, both got test status. And in his country's first ever test match, Kevin O'Brien scored a century. And rightly said by Sese Fan Club over there. The other 3 names being Charles Bannerman for Australia, Dave Houghton for Zimbabwe, and Aminul Islam for Bangladesh, which he scored against India in their first ever test. So that's 100 points to you, Sese. And your last pick for this round? You have Japan, you have Oman, you have Fiji.
We're going with Fiji.
Going with Fiji. All right, Fiji it is for you. The logo of Cricket Fiji, the official body of cricket in the country, features a slight modification. One of the letters in the word cricket is appropriately modified to resemble a sight common in the Pacific Isles. Which letter and what has it been modified to? It's been appropriately modified to resemble a sight that you'll see commonly in the Pacific Isles. One of the letters in the word cricket in Cricket Fiji.
we'll say the eye has been modified to resemble regional boat,
Regional?
traditional form of boat.
Traditional form of a boat. Okay, the eye has been modified to resemble the traditional form of a boat. I will make sure I give this input to the designer, but that's not correct. Yes, Fast and Curious.
Pass.
Want to make a guess?
No, like
Just tell us what it looks like. That's enough.
maybe look like a mountain.
A mountain. Okay, good try, good try. Not a boat, not a mountain. The second C in cricket is modified to look like a palm tree. It's modified to look like a palm tree. That's the common sight that you'll find there. So neither team answering that one. And we go into the last question of the middle overs. Fast and Curious, you have two options, Japan and Oman.
Japan.
Japan. The Yokohama Cricket Club was established by a Scotsman in 1868. With a large ground in the city centre, it was a popular spot for expats. They had a rude shock when they tried to renew the lease for the ground. The authorities demanded that they should change one of their rules. The Yokohama Cricket Club, which was founded by the Scotsman, decided we cannot change this rule, so they actually shifted their location out to a smaller place rather than change their rules. Rather understandably, what did the Japanese demand? And I'll just clarify that when I say change of rules, they weren't saying change any of the cricketing rules, right? It was not like change the LBW rule or something. They asked for a change, very justifiably so, but the cricket club said, sorry, we can't do this, so they actually moved out. It's a nice story. All right, let's have an answer. Fast and Curious.
So like the authorities, so this is a very, like we made a very bad guess on this.
No,
So
go for
that
it.
the authorities asked the club members that when they will play cricket match, so they will not dive.
They
Because
will
of the
not dive. Or because
of
if they dive, they will damage the ground.
glass or the
Oh.
ground.
So they should not dive.
Yes.
Okay, nice, very interesting, very interesting. What do you think, Sese?
They actually denied building a permanent dressing room structure because it's
Pavilion.
a pavilion because it's an earthquake-prone region.
It's an earthquake-prone region, so if they built a concrete pavilion structure, that would collapse and cause harm or danger. Both guesses are actually very good, but unfortunately neither is correct. The answer is rather more simple. The Yokohama Cricket Club was established by a Scotsman, and they would allow only the expats to play. So the Japanese said, listen, it's our ground, you have to let us play as well. The Japanese wanted to play, but these guys said, no way, we're not going to allow any of the locals to play, only the expats can play. And so they had to shift the ground out. That's the interesting story behind that question. Neither team gets that right, but with that dot ball, we come to the end of the middle overs. 3 rounds done in this riveting Super 8 contest that you're watching of HDFC Life presents Jeet Ka Insurance Cricket Quiz. Time to take a look at our scoreboard now. Fast and Curious on 300 points. Sese Fan Club on 1,380 points. 300 and 1,380 is how the leaderboard stands. But we have 1 round remaining in this quiz. We will be going into round number 4, which is our Slog overs round. Round 4 of this Super 8 game of HDFC Life presents Jeet Ka Insurance Cricket Quiz is here. Round 4 is called the Slog overs. Let's see the rules for round number 4. Round number 4, Slog overs. The Slog overs is where all the action happens. There will be edges flying to the boundary. There will be yorkers landing on the stumps. 8 questions on the buzzer. Plus 100, minus 100 on the buzzer. And just like in round 2, you have the HDFC Life insurance card. A small price to pay for a big benefit in case of an unforeseen event. You can use the card any once in this round for plus 80, minus 20. You can do this after you've pressed the buzzer if you're not sure of your answer. We saw one team played very well in the second round. So do use the card well, both teams. The final 8 questions of this quiz coming up, all on the buzzer. All the best. Here is question number 1. Name the 2 countries against whom the Indian men's test team has never lost a test match. Name the two countries against whom the Indian men's test team has never lost a test match. Both teams thinking about it, and Sese Babu have gone for it.
One is Bangladesh, another is Afghanistan.
Afghanistan and Bangladesh is the perfect answer. That is correct. It's not a 100% win record against Bangladesh, but India have never lost. There have been a couple of draws. And of course, Afghanistan, as you know, played their very first ever test against India at the M. Chinnaswamy Stadium in Bengaluru, where Ajinkya Rahane captained India to a famous win in just 2 days. So Afghanistan and Bangladesh, that gives you a plus 100, Sese Babu. Here is question number 2. Which cricketer's 2019 autobiography is titled No Spin? Yes, fast and curious.
Shane Warne.
Shane Warne, that's the right answer. Shane Warne, of course, slightly ironic title. If you look at it, he was perhaps the greatest spinner in the world, but what he was saying is, I'm not spinning anything here. I'm just giving you the facts as it is, which is what Fast and Curious have done, and they've got themselves 100 points on Shane Warne. Third question. Which cricketer turned commentator was Australia's first captain in ODIs? Which cricketer turned commentator was Australia's first captain in one-day international?
Bill Lawry.
Bill Lawry is a great answer. Bill Lawry is absolutely correct. It is Bill Lawry, the voice you've probably heard a lot on Channel 9 and other television commentary, was a great cricketer himself. And back in 1971, when the first ever one-day international happened, he was the captain of the Australian team, Bill Lawry. Plus 100 to Sese Babu Fan Club. Next question, question number 4 of this round. In which city will you find the cricket ground named the Borda Oval? B-O-U-R-D-A. Okay, Sese Babu.
Guyana.
Georgetown. Georgetown, Guyana.
The town is,
Georgetown.
or city is Georgetown
Guyana.
in Guyana. Absolutely right. The Borda Oval, Georgetown in Guyana. A good Indian connection to that is Sunil Gavaskar has very fond memories of this ground and has made a couple of centuries at this ground. This is the Borda Oval in Georgetown, Guyana. Absolutely right. Sese Babu Fan Club, another 100 points. 4 questions remaining. Fast and Curious. Let's see if you were able to hit the buzzer on any of these and get yourself some more points on the board. The first ever match in the ICC World T20's first edition in 2007 also saw the first ever century scored in men's T20.
Chris Gayle.
Chris Gayle, that's the right answer. Take your points. Chris Gayle is correct. The first ever century in men's T20 ice was scored by Chris Gayle when he scored 117, and this was in the match versus West Indies, which was the first ever match versus South Africa playing for the West Indies, the first ever match in the first ever T20 Men's World Cup. Next question. Who was the player of the match in the final of the inaugural 1975 ODI World Cup? Okay.
Clive Lloyd.
And why was Clive Lloyd the player of the
Scored
final?
182 balls.
He scored 100. Clive Lloyd, the captain of the winning West Indies team, was the player of the match as well in the final of the inaugural 1975 Cricket World Cup, the ODI World Cup this time, which was of course played at the Lords. For his 102, Clive Lloyd was named player of the match, so he picked up 2 trophies. I think it was possibly just a bottle of champagne for the man of the match, and the trophy, of course, the first ever World Cup win. So that's another first. 2 questions remaining. Here we go. Which now retired person holds the record for the most one-day internationals as an umpire? He is an Asian. He is an Asian. Which now retired Asian? Okay, go for it, Fast and Curious. Okay, you're playing your HDFC Life insurance card. All right.
So like we will guess Kumar Dharmasena.
You will guess Kumar Dharmasena. Very good thing you played the HDFC Life insurance card at the right time. Kumar Dharmasena is incorrect, but you lose only 20 points. So minus 20 to team 1 and Fast and Curious. And would you like to try Sese Babu Fan Club?
We'll pass. No.
You're not trying, you're going to pass. All right, the correct answer is Aleem Dar. Aleem Dar. That was the right answer. The very last question of this quiz coming up. And I want to say very well played. Both teams played very sportingly and very nicely. It was a great contest to watch. It was great fun to host. And I'm glad to see a glimmer of a smile on everyone's faces. So don't worry about it. I mean, quizzes like matches will come and go. The fact that you played it is very important. So well played. Here's the final question. The Indian women's team recorded their first ever test victory in November 1976 against the West Indies. Who was the captain? The Indian women's team recorded their first ever test victory against the West Indies. Who was the captain of the Indian team? Are you going for it? All right. And playing the HDFC Life Insurance card. Excellent. What's your answer?
Going with Diana Edelji.
Diana Edelji. Very good that you played the card again, because that is incorrect. You get only a minus 20 on that to Sese fan club. On Diana Edelji, do you want to try?
We had the same.
We had the same answer.
You had the same answer. Okay, it's not Diana Edelji, though Diana Edelji also led India with distinction. This was Shanta Rangaswamy. So Shanta Rangaswamy. And with that, we are at the end of this Super 8 episode of HDFC Life presents Jeet Ka Insurance, the cricket quiz, open to all. We've had two amazing teams fight it out against each other in this quiz over the last 28 questions. Fast and Curious, Sushant and Ashwini against the Sese fan club of Sarbajit and Gaurav. Here is the final scorecard of this quiz. 480 points to Fast and Curious. So good comeback, Fast and Curious. Very well played. You almost got to a Brian Lara-esque score. Just missed it out. 480 is very well done. And Team Sese fan club finish on 1,760 points. And they are the winners of this edition of the quiz and make their way to the semi-final round.
So we have contenders from Cricket Quiz. Let's know how they felt in the show. Hello, how did you feel there?
It was good. I mean, the questions were very enjoyable. We did enjoy them.
It was really a good experience for us competing against a team which is really experienced in this genre of quiz. So it was an experience of learning for both of us.
I would like to ask you, आपका favorite player कौन है?
My all-time favorite is Sachin Tendulkar.
और अभी जो हमारी current playing team है, उससे आपका favorite कौन है?
Rohit Sharma.
मेरा फेवरेट प्लेयर जसप्रीत बुमराह है.
अभी हाल फिलहाल ये देखा जा रहा है इंडिया की परफॉर्मेंस को लेके. ये बताइए मुझे कि उनको अगर अपनी जीत इंश्योर करनी है तो उनको क्या करना चाहिए?
I think a bit controversial opinion, but they should drop Rohit Sharma and play Yashasvi.
Don't know. I believe the pitches in West Indies will favor India, and they will have to balance their team accordingly.
इंडियन टीम का जो परफॉर्मेंस है इस वर्ल्ड कप में, उसको देखते हुए आपको क्या लगता है कि फाइनल्स में इंडियन टीम अपनी जगह बना पाएगी?
It depends, I guess. It's a very difficult question to answer right now, but I think they've been really good considering the pitches they played in New York were a bit tough for all the sides so far. So I think they've been good so far. It will be interesting how they go in the Super 8. So let's hope the India reach another World Cup final.
I think we can make it to finals this year. Yeah.
Well, that's a good hope. Thank you so much.